I shake windows. So...
And I got no f***ing sleep at all. I think I got 3 hours max. I was like, I want to suffocate this prick. I want to f***ing put the pillow over his head and go, shh, shh, shh.
No snore no more.
Snore no more.
Welcome to Redundant Opinions, where the thing you need most on the internet is another 2 straight white guys sitting on a bed together thinking that they're right about the world. Welcome in, welcome back. If you haven't watched this before, my name is Kochie, this here is Cami, and today we're coming at you, I guess, recorded from DreamHack.
DreamHack, in the fleshy parts, once again.
We are flesh tubers. This is a new word I've learned this weekend. For better or for worse.
Yeah, look. There's certain things I wish I hadn't heard in my lifetime, and that's one of them. But...
There are a lot of things I wish I didn't hear this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get into them on the podcast, but we'll try.
We'll do our best. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about this weekend, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's like that happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. That deal happens at DreamHack, stays at DreamHack. It's just, and things are just really not good for general consumption.
No.
Okay.
No, exactly right. Anyway, speaking of, DreamHack. DreamHack. What a weekend. How was it for you, Kochie? How'd you enjoy it?
So it is this Sunday afternoon on the recording. As you can see, we're still in the hotel because we're not going to do it at 8 a.m. before we have to go check out. And, yes, there we go. Hopefully that
caught up. There we go.
It's Sunday, so we're drinking after, I guess, 3 or 4 days of drinking.
Because that's exactly what my body needs, more fucking alcohol.
Yeah, well, I feel like, with an expo with people running around being unhygienic and everything, the only way to kill the bacteria that's currently entering my bloodstream is with alcohol. Yeah,
and there was some smells of all time.
There was, yes.
And trust me, breathing that in, really feel like I should be wearing a mask, even though COVID is apparently not a thing anymore.
Oh yeah, we've probably got that.
We've probably got COVID too.
Yeah.
But anyway. Look, definitely the alcohol has come a long way, I think, to helping us get through this weekend. And that's not to say that the event was terrible, because we had a great time.
Yeah.
It's just what you do in Melbourne on these trips, which, as we've discussed time and time again.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, DreamHack Melbourne is an esports-focused expo. So where PAX is mostly a figure around pop culture and the community side of things. DreamHack is essentially that, but smaller on that side and more on the esports, the competitive gaming, the brands that support those PCs that you see when you watch like Counter-Strike or whatever.
Yeah.
They have all the RGB lights and cost way too much money.
Yeah.
They have all on display. So DreamHack originally was, in Australia anyway, was originally the Melbourne Esports Open. DreamHack added their brand to it, and it used to be around the same time PAX was. So that was fun. From someone who travels interstate for it, it's like, well, would you rather go to DreamHack or PAX? And
the answer to that is PAX.
The answer to that is PAX every single day of the week.
Exactly.
So they learned from that.
Yeah, and PAX is the statement, piece of the year for gaming conventions here in the ANZ region.
Yes.
So last year, DreamHack happened, I think, September, like a month before PAX did in October.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as you said, they've learned from that, and it is now the last weekend of April, so April 30. And DreamHack has just occurred. So they've moved it sort of into a 6-month time slot, which is actually really convenient for us because
it works out so well.
Because for PAX, normally we get to see each other once a year, we get to go to these conventions once a year, and then there's that 12-month slump. And while we've had TGX, we've also just had DreamHack, which is a more established event come through, that we now get to go. It means we get to go to events pretty much on a 6-monthly rotation, which is certainly a lot more preferable to the old arrangement that we once had when it was just PAX and PAX only.
Except for those overnight things, or like a game premiere or a preview. If you weren't in Sydney or Melbourne, essentially you had to just travel down for one night.
Yeah.
But sometimes it was kind of essential for some games because that's how you would network.
Exactly.
If you only did it once a year, no one would know who the hell you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, DreamHack being in the time slot it does give us another opportunity to catch up. It gives us another opportunity to network with fellow creators. So that loops me on to... So DreamHack is, as you've said, a very esports competitive event. We had the ESL Challenger Series, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
At Melbourne, which played through its grand final as of today, which was a CSGO tournament. We had the LOC, I believe, as well, which was League of Legends.
LCO?
LCO, that's right. It was LCO. I almost got it right. LCO was running, which was a League of Legends tournament. They had BYOC, so bring your own computer, and then they had sort of the tournaments you could sign up to through there as well. So lots of competitive esports in action the whole time. I think they also had a Twitch streamer event as well.
Yep.
Which obviously isn't an esport per se, but it's a competitive
event. Twitch streaming.
Competitive Twitch streaming, yeah.
It's always a competition. Okay, you don't understand.
We already knew this, but anyway. So yeah, we had that as well. But on top of that, as you said, there is, for one, so there's the Expo Hall, which is basically where the big brands that are normally sponsoring these teams or these events are there to show off their stuff. But there's also a few extra sort of elements to DreamHack that we weren't necessarily expecting, yet still turned out to be pretty bloody cool.
Yep. We had the Creator Hub. That was new.
The Creator Hub was sick. So the Creator Hub was sort of an area for content creators of varying size to sort of come in and do a stream at the DreamHack booth, which was pretty cool. Meant that
rep the brand, get your face out there.
Yep.
Stream, and then have people walk by so you can add Shenanigans there as well.
And they had every single so there were 8 streaming pods there at once, and every stream had a TV playing the stream back out to the community, so you could watch that and see what was going on. There was a creator lab there, which was sort of designed to be like this, this space for creators who had appointments in the creator lab to teach newcomers about content creation, which was a pretty cool idea. I don't know how successful it was. I personally didn't do anything with it.
It always seemed busy.
It did seem busy. I'm not sure how many people actually walked up to it and sort of engaged with it, but we'll talk about that more in a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
When we start going into more detail. Yeah. There was also the artist alley.
Yep. Full on artist alley dedicated as well, so it was actually spaced out really, really well.
Very good.
Other previous expos, it was kind of sitting in a sardine can type deal, and you'd basically shuffle yourself from one artist to another trying to find your stuff. But with this one, it was actually laid out fairly well.
Yeah.
And it just means that it feels like each of the areas has been given its due respect.
Exactly.
Which it's just really good.
Yeah. So you had the artist alley and that allowed people to come in, artists to come in and sell their goods. I bought some stuff. So yeah, there was definitely a lot of really cool stuff on display there from the artist alley, and something I didn't really expect to see from a esports branded event primarily. It was a bit of a culture shock, really. Tabletop there as well. There was a whole bunch of different elements there.
Yeah.
So while yes, it was an esports focused event, it definitely felt like there was something for everyone in a way.
Yeah. Tackling that pop culture to get more brand and more people in, I guess, as well. Regardless of how small or big each area was.
Yeah.
It was just good to see those I guess areas represented.
Yeah.
Fighting game community as well.
Fighting game community, exactly. Yep. Cosplay had a very strong presence there as well.
Yeah, there was 2 competitions.
Yeah, there was the big one, and then I think there was a smaller one being run by a couple of creators in the industry. So, really, really cool to see. I guess that amalgamation of all those different things coming together at a more developed level.
Yeah.
By comparison to...
It was semi-pro. Semi-professional, yeah.
By comparison to TGX, which we've just been to recently, this was certainly a... It certainly felt... Well, I mean, it's not the first one, so they've got that going for them.
No.
But you could tell that a lot of thought went into the running of the event, went into the execution of it.
Yeah.
And that showed, because it really did pay off with the end experience. And I think we had a great time.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Everything, as I said, was laid out really quick, really well. And the best part is because it ran only 6 months ago, it's amazing to see the differences between what people were saying when it ran in September than when it ran now. So apparently behind the scenes, it was a little bit disorganized from what I heard from various people that worked within the staff there at ESL. But it was really, really good. Everything on the surface level, everything pretty much ran well.
Yeah.
A few things went late, but I mean, happens all the time with questions and when you have panels. There was other panels in that as well.
Yeah, true. We forgot to mention about that. Yeah, you're right. There's not a single, if I wasn't told that separately, I wouldn't have had first clue that was what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors. It just just make it work.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah. And then we basically went there for all 3 of the days.
Yep.
The first day as well, something that doesn't really happen with other expos as well, was a dedicated Students' Day.
Yeah, that was
cool.
It was cool. It was there was just a bunch of kids from schools who were coming in to see, and It
They're in
makes sense.
uniform too.
They're in uniform.
Yeah.
So it was a school excursion, right? It was
Pretty much.
very clearly like a school excursion. And I mean, given that we were in Melbourne, right, and Melbourne is currently the capital of gaming in Australia, well, Victoria as a whole, I should say.
Yeah.
It makes sense that schools would be sending kids this sort of stuff because they acknowledge that there's some benefit to going, and
Yeah. Well, it's all about they every student or every kid wants to be a content creator now.
Exactly.
Things like that. They could want to be a professional athlete.
Yep.
Athlete.
Yeathlete.
Yeah, I don't know. And things like that as well. So being able to give them the resources to be able to do that, and then also spend, I guess, school money to be able to send kids out to do that as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it goes to show a level of, I don't want to say progressiveness, but a level of sort of maturity from that state government to sort of really endorse that sort of behaviour and go, you know what, this. If you want to try this stuff out and check it out, we'll send you there for a day.
I feel like the kids will be also more professional when they're in their school uniform.
Yeah,
like it's not just kids running around,
Which we saw some of them
teachers probably and stuff like that.
Well, we saw some of them at the CSGO matches, but we'll talk about them later.
Yeah. I don't know if they were kids or just untrained adults.
They were acting like kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
So on day one, I guess to look back, we we were led into the expo hall. We were greeted with creator passes, which was really, really cool. And our first step was really the expo hall, and I think the first thing we jumped on was CS2.
Yeah, we got to play Counter-Strike 2, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, I don't have access to the beta. I don't think you do either. Nope. So
not cool enough.
No, we're not in that. We're not in that inner circle. But we got to try out CS2, which was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting to because when I saw it, we had the expo map out there a couple of weeks in advance. Again, certain expo could learn from such things.
Yeah.
So we knew CS2 was going to be there, and we were like, okay, we definitely want to get hands-on with this. It's like one of our bucket list items, because we're just not going to be able to play it for a long time.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, we better get in there nice and early, because otherwise we're just not going to have a chance to play it. It's going to be super busy. I was shocked as to how easy we got on.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get early access or anything like that, which we have done so at previous cons. We were just able to walk on in and play, and they had multiple stations around the convention hall. There was one outside of like the CSGO arena, I believe, as well.
On theme, I think, for that area as well.
As you would,
I think that one was definitely busier, but there was one in the expo hall. And because we were in there Friday, it was the Students' Day, and there was less, I guess, regular people there on the Friday, because they knew it was the Students' Day, or they had work. Like, they're going to take the days off if they're locals, so they'll just go Saturday, Sunday, especially when all the big championships and the grand finals for CS and stuff
on the weekend.
On the weekend and on the Sunday, so makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, so we got to play some Counter-Strike 2. They're all separate sessions and like everything, so
this was scuffed.
I kind of like we were all playing against bots essentially, and it's Counter-Strike. It's not like they haven't changed the game into a kart racer. It's basically Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but with an updated engine, with like volumetric lighting and smokes and upgraded gun models, and the AWP fires like tracers now. You can kind of see the wind behind them. And,
exactly.
Things like that. But we're running around, and everyone's kind of shooting bots.
Not actually playing against players.
Yeah. And because no one knows each other, we're just kind of sitting there. There's 10 of us on that setup, and just kind of looked around and was like, "Are we just like all play against each other?"
Yeah, get something going. Yeah.
So you just MacGyver that up, local connect and all that fun stuff, and then they were like, "Yeah, you can just do that." We just didn't know how many people would turn up. So
what was really funny is I saw you went through all that trouble, and I think I had something to go and do. I had my photo session, which I'll talk about in a second here, but I came back to the CS because I was like, I want to play some more.
Yeah.
So I came back, and I noticed that by the time I got back, all your hard work was undone. They were all versing bots again. Yeah. So you spent a solid 10 minutes doing this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, they'll be still in the same lobby. Oh, they're not in the same lobby anymore.
Yeah. Pain. There's just pain.
Pepe pains. Yeah.
Pain.
But yeah, it was good fun. Another feature I've really been liking about CS2 when I was playing it is that you've now got circles on the minimap that tells you how far your footsteps can be heard.
Oh, okay. So they took that from Valorant.
Yeah, it's a thing in CS now as well, so that's really, really cool.
UI got updated as well.
Yeah, UI. It just looks like a modern day CS:GO, and I'm about it. It actually looks really good because CS understands that you don't have to fix what's not broken. You just have to reiterate and go again. Which
EA.
It's ironic, right? Because obviously we're giving Overwatch 1.5 a whole lot of shit because it's literally Overwatch 1.5.
Yeah.
But then the internet goes ballistic over CS2 when it's literally CSGO 1.5.
Pretty much.
But yeah, you know, I guess, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, I guess, as well. It's like it's all based on the companies that making it. Valve can obviously do no wrong because it's Valve. So
well, we know this is going to be the last Counter-Strike.
Right.
They don't because this is CS2.
Yeah. They can't count to 3.
Yeah,
we might get 2.6 because you know CS, you know 1.6 source CS:GO.
I'm following here. God damn
CS2 is 2.6.
And then that'll be
it.
Yeah. If they do CS3 one day, it would be the shock of the century for the gaming community.
No, I don't think it'll be alive by that point.
Yeah, we won't.
No, it'll take too long.
I mean,
everyone will forget the meme by then.
The amount of alcohol I've drunk this week. Fuck no, I'm gonna be
So yeah, Counter Strike 2, super cool. It's still Counter Strike, but it's just cool that it's still CS:GO, but we got to play it, so that was really, really interesting.
We did some sim racing.
That was
as
what we usually do
tradition.
with events these days. It's just like, well, you get a pedal and a wheel because you don't have one at home.
I don't.
Yeah, so I've got like a G29 and I don't have a shifter, but I have the paddles and
and I'm a huge motorsport guy. I love it.
Surprises me that you don't have a wheel with all the racing games and stuff that you talk about.
One of these days you'll come down to Canberra, you'll see my apartment, and then you'll know exactly fucking why I don't have a wheel. it's not gonna house it.
Wheel goes up, wheel goes down.
Yeah, basically. But no, like what surprised me most is the brand that was hosting the wheels was not the usual suspects. It wasn't Logitech, it wasn't Thrustmaster, it was ASUS.
Interesting.
Through a random, I don't know what company. I feel really bad.
Is it Fanatec?
No. I don't think it was. It was something else. I've never heard of it before. But really, really good wheel setup. The pedals felt really, really quite grounded, quite what's I looking for? Tough. Like they were very, very stiff, but that made it feel a bit more realistic. And yeah, the racing sim was done on iRacing, which was a lot of fun. You know, got to do some hot laps around the Phillip Island Raceway, which is not a track you see often selected.
It's usually Bathurst.
Because you know it's the one that's known in Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was a really sick way to start as well. We got in and did that very, very early before the masses really were able to smash the room.
Yeah, and like I think we figured out pretty quickly that Friday was the day to do things. There was just less people.
Yeah, which we did pretty quickly.
So yeah, we got to do a lot of different stuff. Check out a lot of different things with all our other Team OCE friends, and
which there were a lot of.
Yeah, so we got to do that, take pictures and do all of that.
Yeah.
So, what else did we do? Fuck, it was really like we really focused on the networking and the creator side of things. So we had to go see friends and catch up, and
that is actually something I want to touch on as well because I know you didn't necessarily get access to this room because of your press pass, but
for one day before they cracked down.
They cracked down. Yeah. So content creators had access to a creator lounge, which was essentially a closed off space that creators could go to network and to just wind down. Which was really, really cool. Like it's a feature that TGX did, which I thought was the VIP booth, but TGX
that had a bar though.
It did have a look. That is the one thing DreamHack was missing. There was no open bar at the Creative Lounge.
Yep.
Mistakes were made.
Yes.
Especially considering that right next door, Monster had a business room.
Yeah, which had a private event,
which had a fucking open bar in it. I was so tempted to go. No.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they had a Creator Lounge. You could just go, like, it was elevated. You had a good view of the outdoor precinct of the convention, which was sick. It was rare to see an outdoor precinct for a gaming convention because we're gamers, we don't go outside, but anyway.
And it's Melbourne.
Too.
So you know it's going to rain immediately.
Which it did.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really cool element. But I think one of the things that really sort of stuck out there, and I met so many awesome creators up there for one, so awesome networking if you guys happen to stumble across the podcast, great to meet you. But Nick and Ben, I think it was, were doing creator headshots and video.
You got to be a professional model.
We got to be models, which was sick because so I've never had my photo professionally taken. I have a bit on that. It's expensive as shit. Nick and Co were doing it free of charge for creators if you had a booking, which was sick as hell. It's my new profile picture on Twitter.
Yeah. How did that go?
It was good. It was. I wasn't really used to being on that side of the camera in that sense, because obviously I'm a dickhead with my vlogs and, you know, looking like a bloody moron trying to dodge passerbys. But in that sense, it's something that I'd never ever done, and it was good to see the I sort of looked. I sort of got the photos down and thought, "This is shit. It's me. I know. Yeah. I know I look like, you know, wet concrete. But yeah,
it's gonna like monochrome him.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. But then I got the photos. I thought, okay, okay. And now I've got new professional photos. So yeah, huge shout out to Nick and Co. It was great.
Do you want to talk about how your friends discovered those photos?
Yeah. So all right. So I uploaded the photos to Twitter as my new profile picture, and I put them on my Facebook because, you know, my Facebook profile picture was like 4 years old. It needed to happen.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, well, this is actually a good photo. What did my mates do? They and to add context, if you haven't seen the photo yet, it is me sitting down, sort of in this sort of pose, on a couch. Yeah.
I just put it like here.
Yeah,
I'll put it down there.
Yeah, right there. There you go. So it's that photo, and what did my mates do? They photoshopped me onto a casting couch with 6 big burly black men.
Anyone else has seen that meme? It was done to perfection. So yeah, I don't know if I can put that on the edit, but I think
you can.
I probably can. There's nothing actually happening. I mean, it's not a meme. Yeah, I'll fix it in post.
There's a couple more memes that they sent around too, so I'll send those to you as well.
Collage.
It's fuck. It was. You see, I've got the kind of group of mates that I know for a fact that if I end up on the internet in that perspective, it's gonna get memed immediately. Like we have, I've told you about this in private before. We've got a personal online Cards Against Humanity deck that incorporates pictures.
Yeah.
And a lot of us know Photoshop to a disgustingly horrific amount of degree.
Mm-hmm.
So if one of us posts a photo, you can guarantee it's going to get memed on pretty fucking quickly.
Love it.
And the boys immediately said #carded and then proceeded to go to work.
Nice.
Yeah, so, I knew it was going to happen. I saw it coming from a mile away. I didn't expect it to be so quick, but here we are.
Yep. Good to have content friends.
Content friends, yeah, exactly right. But yeah, it was a cool way to step away. I spent a lot of time in the Creator Lounge across all 3 days just networking, got some pretty cool contacts out of it, met some creators.
Yep.
We've all worked together in the future. It was good.
Yeah, and there's these events, because they're 6 months apart. Well, hopefully, we keep this rolling thing going.
Yeah.
It makes you more memorable. I think we've talked in the past, right? Yeah. I've definitely had rants in the past to people who will listen, or even the ones that don't get a choice. That when I was starting out with this thing, if I didn't go to multiple events, no one would remember me.
Because and that's the thing too. Like, you meet so many people at these events.
You do, yeah.
That names and faces become a blur. You'll see someone that looks somewhat familiar, and then you'll both lock eyes. You'll go through this moment of
the Rolodex, the internal Rolodex.
You're rolling a D20 dice right now, trying to work out what your perception is, and then it just goes from there.
So that it takes those repeat meetings to be able to do that, and if we can cut that time down to be actually recognised in whatever industry you're a part of, even just by half, essentially. If you're just going to say DreamHack and you're just going to PAX, then that's still double the amount of events that you're going to.
Exactly.
So double the chance to people actually remember you, and
more opportunities to network, which I think in the creator biz, especially we were talking about this since COVID, the creator network has sort of become a lot less cliquey. It's become a lot more integrated. People are just in Discords now. There's a lot more sort of cross-pollination, I guess is the word to use, of creators.
Yeah.
Like, all coming together, doing their thing.
Yeah. Because it used to be, I guess, pre-COVID, it was like, these are these types of creators, and this was this creators, and these didn't intermingle with these because they're this numbers, and this is everyone else who's just in a pile down here, and they have to figure it out for themselves.
You've even got, this creator belongs to this group, and you've got these creator click groups. But, there were people of all certain shapes and sizes as far as follower counts getting access to the creator badges at this trip. So, it was great to see.
Doors wide open type deal.
Yeah.
So, which was really, really good. So
More exposure for them on socials to grow the convention further.
yeah, because I mean, I think because of the things that I did notice, I guess, in terms of the disorganization, was the fact that like a lot of the app, for example, it's like you were trying to look up the schedule for things, and then you're like, okay, cool, I want to know more about this panel, and it just wouldn't give you anything. It wouldn't tell you where it was. It didn't have any who was going. It didn't know who their contact was. It just said like blah blah blah, 3 to 4.
Yep. Good luck.
Good luck.
Find
So
it.
You have to go on the website.
It's like, it just looks you down like, find it, pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do better.
Do better.
So yeah, that was you could tell with those things once you started looking that you get it to see the little cracks there, but it didn't really affect anything because then there was always another way that you could find out. There was ESL staff that were around. There was plenty of security and volunteers that seemed to know the layout and what was happening and where all the different areas are, which was really, really good.
That's exactly right.
And yeah, we got to see a bunch of stuff as well, which was great. So I mean, we dedicated the entirety of Friday to really just getting shit done.
Yeah.
There was also a DreamHack RPG as well, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't participate in this. So,
No.
Yeah, no.
So basically, they had a bunch of QR codes that were scanned around, like placed in very different areas, and it kind of allowed you to not forced you to go to different places, but it just allowed you to explore the expo in a different fashion.
Yeah.
Like you were going to each place for the QR code, but then you had a better opportunity to know, okay, well, we're going to do this expo hall, and we're going to scan all the QR codes, and that'll give us all the points for this expo hall, but maybe we'll stay there for like...
Just check something out.
Yeah, check something out, or like, oh, that looks really interesting, and I'll go there.
It's basically gamifying the experience of looking around.
Yeah,
which is
and all the points actually meant up, like it made up something as well, so you had all your points by the end of it, and there was a leaderboard and stuff like that. But there was also the ability to use those points to spin a wheel and try to win some prizes, because there was like $75,000 worth of prizes to give away.
Sick as hell.
Which is cool. There was microphones, there was like a pod, was it the Rode?
The Rode mixers. The professional ones are like $1,500 a pop. Like
there was monitors, there was laptops. Like it wasn't just plushies and key chains. Like it was
some of the fucking monitors we saw walking out of that place too. I was like, I want that.
Yeah. So you just spin the wheel and you got it in as part of your ticket. As soon as you did all the.
It was sick.
Things.
It was a really, really cool. Like, and again, I think that really. Like, the line was massive every time it went live. But you could really tell that a lot of people were keen on it. And naturally so. And it helps to build that sense of, like, you're not just there to look at stuff. You're engaging with activity, which I think is a really, really cool thing. Yeah.
And I liked it. It was just gave people an opportunity to check out Artist Alley who maybe not have checked out Artist Alley before. And things like that.
And that's a good point, too, because we always come out with the perspective of creators or press. We've got obligations. We've got... Ulterior motives isn't probably the right word to use, but we've got objectives when we get there. The average consumer or person going there isn't going to have that lens.
Well, they'll have their focus. Like
No.
It was like when we went and talked about PAX, and then we said those people only go for the latest releases.
Correct.
And then if there's no latest releases, they're like, well, PAX was shit. And it's
exactly.
Like, there are panels, there are cosplay, there's tabletop, there's indies. It's like, I don't care about any of that, so PAX was shit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Awesome. And it's like, well, maybe they care about ARPGs, and maybe they want to be able to scan some codes and win some shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like what DreamHack did there is they incentivized the activity of exploring things, and I think people are probably going to get more out of this con as a result of that, just by exposure. Like they'll see something new that they never would have once done before, and that's cool. Like it's a way of sort of, as I said, gamifying the experience of going to one of these things and maybe trying out something you wouldn't have done so otherwise.
My exposure.
In the exposure.
Yeah.
So no, I was, even though I didn't do it because your boy was busy running around like a headless chicken all weekend. It was great. Yeah, great idea.
Just another layer on top of what was already a pretty good expo as well.
Yeah.
Saturday we tried to do some stuff. I think Saturday was probably our shortest day.
It was more of a community day.
Yeah.
For one, we were a bit toasty from the night before.
We did go out and have some drinks and do all that fun stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
We went out and had some food and did all that stuff as well. So
and a big Team OCE. Yeah, it was Team OCE day really.
Yeah, well, that was it. So by the time, since we were recovering from that, we were like, there's nothing we need to check out in the morning on Saturday. No, actually, sorry, we skip ahead. Actually, for Friday, after the Students' Day, so it was weird. So the con technically opened at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
On Friday. the opening ceremony for
Oh
the con
shit! Yeah, how did we forget about this? Yeah,
wasn't until 5 p.m. that day.
Yeah.
Which was odd.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, but I
yeah.
think it was mainly because of the fact that they like they didn't have any major CSGO or anything like that happening on the Friday, so like, okay, this represents
It was a group stage, but yeah.
Yeah, this represents the start of the competitive events,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, we went to the opening ceremony, and that was sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really, really cool. So pyrotechnics, we got our arms singed a bunch.
Yep,
There was
yep.
a bunch of different hype and cannon stuff going on and trying to get the hype up
It
for,
was very cool.
yeah, I guess the start of DreamHack, even though it wasn't really the start. But
It was weird, yeah.
it also kind of just led into, they're trying to push music as well, so there was also live
I forgot,
acts.
yeah,
so
true.
things like Mashin and Kochie was there. I don't remember any of the others. Godlands, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but
We didn't get around to any of the music.
bunch of EDM, house,
Yeah.
techno type stuff, which
Doof doof.
I really like. Doof music.
Yeah.
I really like, but I'm not going to sit there at 8 p.m. and at a DreamHack. So I think that's an angle that they've pushed. I don't know how well it sticks.
We weren't there for it, so we've got no
No.
perspective on it.
But I'm not sure how many other people actually stayed for it as well. So maybe it would have been awkward. It's like when they're going to like a club where a DJ is DJing to like 2 people.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah, 2 guys in the back just sitting on their phones.
like, yeah.
Well, okay, so we say that, but so to loop in, on Friday night we went to GG Easy and Fortress. Now we've got a golden rule whenever we go to a gaming convention weekend, right?
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from any gaming bar in
do
Melbourne.
not touchy.
Because
no touchy.
They're going to be packed. You're not going to be able to get a drink. You're not going to be able to sit. You're not going to be able to talk. Nothing. It's going to be if you're going to one of these events during gamer weekend. Excuse me. You're going there just because you want to be amongst other gamers, and I think it's more of a comfort thing, right? And
Yeah.
even then, it's not going to be comfortable because you're going to be wall to wall like a pack of sardines.
And you don't know where else to go if you're out of state. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. No one knows where to go. But we went to both. We went to GG Easy and we went to Fortress, and it was the opposite.
Yeah. It's actually, like, it did get busier later on. But
GG Easy got busier,
Yeah.
but Fortress
stayed the same.
Fortress was very quiet all night, which is surprising as the principal gaming bar
Yeah.
in Melbourne. So that kind of tells me that maybe the music did go off.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it was more successful than we give it credit to. I don't know.
It was interesting, though, that we could have watched CSGO at DreamHack live. Instead, we wanted to go to a bar
And watched it.
that had this DreamHack CSGO that we just left
Yeah.
on the TV screens on the wall. It was like, okay, sure. But no, it ended up being good.
It did.
We did roll the dice on that one, and I think it worked out pretty
It
well.
paid off brilliantly. Yeah.
And so there was the opening ceremony. There was also a announcement from like not an announcement, but there was like the government was involved again. So the Victorian state government was involved again.
More of an endorsement, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like a stamp of approval, essentially.
Yeah.
So I can't remember his name, but I'll pop him up or something. That you have a good speech about how gaming is on the cusp of technology and like an emerging tech and stuff like that that like
Really
pushes people and hypes people up and just basically like DreamHack good from government. Yes.
Yeah, we want come back.
Yeah, and everyone was like,
Yeah. Everyone who's already blasted out of their brains on the booze that's at the con.
There was booze at the con, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what was, that's pretty much what happened.
So that was cool, but it was enough to at least get us hyped for the event and then go off and do our own thing.
Get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we did. We did very well, and then
We did.
brewed one of the ongoing memes of the Team OCE weekend. Kamikaze's no bitches.
Yeah, no bitches. That was fun. Yeah.
So we were going through all of our social media stats and all of our channels and
As you do when you talk to content creators. Because what else are you going to talk about? It's content creation.
Yeah.
I guess, and stats and things like that.
all that fun shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking like channels and like what our stats and analytics look like, and talking about strategy and all that. And the idea and the topic of demographics came up, like audience demographics, and like, oh, okay, so what's everyone's gender split? And I knew mine wasn't good from the get go.
You cover first-person shooter games on the regular.
I cover first-person shooter games like PlanetSide on the regular.
Yeah.
There's no women playing that fucking game for the most part.
No.
And my stats show, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, I have a 99.2% male audience.
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah, the boys. Dicks out for the boys, but it did brew Kamikaze no bitches.
Yeah. which is hilarious.
Yeah. Ongoing meme in the Discord. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Yeah. I need to get some bitches.
Any bitches you're watching, go check out Go check out Kamikaze's channel.
There are any bitches in chat. Oh god. Oh Jesus.
Hit me up.
I'd like to go on the record by saying I apologise for that one. Okay, that's all I'm fucking saying. God damn it.
The editor said he doesn't apologise.
There you go. Yeah, sweet.
You just have to commit. Right? You got to commit to the no bitches, or you commit to bitches.
Sorry, I'm moving to Twitch soon, so yeah, clearly that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a little hint for people who, because I haven't announced
indirect content.
Indirect content. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
If you're a subscriber of my channel, you've got the scoop. Well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Friday.
Yeah.
A good day. We woke up on Saturday feeling a little crunchy. Not too bad.
No.
I decided to skip breakfast and go straight to the fucking con.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, opted otherwise.
Yeah, we did breakfast and catch up. You're in Melbourne, so you got to have some nice breakfast when you can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the second day was a bit shorter for us.
Yeah.
We went through, did a couple of new things, checked out, talked to friends, caught up.
It was good. Yeah, it was.
Did we actually do anything? I'm trying to remember.
We had the Team OCE. We did the Team OCE panel.
Oh, we checked out the cosplay competition.
Yes, that was the thing. So I think that was the main highlight. So for me, Tuesday, I wanted to get a couple more booths in, and then it was mainly cosplay.
Yeah.
And boy, was there cosplay there.
Yeah.
It was some very good cosplay. Shout out to everyone who let me film them, because I did a lot of filming outside of the cosplay competition because there was some good stuff running around.
Yeah.
That was primarily my day as well, just looking around, catching all the cosplay I could, because, why wouldn't you? When there's that kind of stuff running around. And then, we had the cosplay competition, and damn.
Yeah, so it was interesting, I guess, for me, because it was like it was mainly based on the costumes. So it wasn't like they were doing an act. They weren't like preparing lines and delivering a scene. It was like there was an announcer who read off the script for what this person did and what materials they were used and the processes and
their
how long
story,
their kind of story. It was like just a script that I'm sure that the cosplayer gave to.
Yes, it would have been the entrance.
Person.
Yeah.
But very elaborate costumes and things. There was an armor dude, and I'm not sure. I put a picture
Destiny,
up for
League of Legends.
League of Legends, and a bunch of different other stuff as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, there was a competition for it as well. Professional judges and prop makers, and it was good to have that support as well. And that ran on Saturday and Sunday as well.
It did. They had sort of two cosplay competitions. We only went to the Saturday one because it was the DreamHack endorsed one, because it had a prize pool of, I believe, 15 grand.
15, yeah.
So yeah, third place got 2,500, second place 5 grand, and then first place 7,500, which is really cool to see. To see like cosplay get some reward and some recognition in there. It was on the main stage as well of DreamHack, so they had like a big sort of stage presentation for it. We were able to go down to the very front and get some good video, and
that was good.
We were sort of panting a little bit because we were running
and back in the
sometimes we crossed paths.
And because we were both wearing Team OCE jerseys for the day,
just looked like a pair of dickheads. The poor people that were sitting at the very front probably looked at us and went, "Can you two just fuck off?"
No, it was an interpretive dance. They just didn't understand. Okay.
Yeah. They don't get it. They don't get our interpretive dance.
No. They didn't understand our rhythmic flow.
I'm gonna need to zoom in on that. Yeah, that was good. That was a really, really cool op. It felt weird. We just flashed our passes and sort of walked on in, which was sick.
That's how I do every con. I basically have a pass and I walk into everywhere until someone tells me no.
Assert absolute fucking dominance. Presume you're meant to be that. Like when we. I'll get into this later, but when I went to the BYOC tournament booth today, I walked in, I showed him the camera, and he said, "Yep, go on in."
Yeah,
it was just like, yeah,
recording.
Look big dick enough, and they'll let you in anywhere. But it was great.
Yeah.
So cosplay was fantastic. And at the same time, we had a Team OCE. Building a community. What was the actual title?
Content creation.
So the Team OCE. So a few representatives from Team OCE. That being Zombie Loves Bacon, Hannah Biala, Jury 97, I believe
94.
It is. 94, thank you. And Pog.
Pogstream,
yeah. We'll leave all the links in the doobly-doo for you guys. But they ran a really, really good panel on content creation in the space.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good to be able to tell everyone their stories and like what allowed them to get to the stage that they are.
Yep.
And then also just what strategy that they had to tackle various challenges as well. So, whether you're coming from TikTok or if you're coming from Twitch or YouTube or wherever you're coming from, and like how to diversify the content there, because other different content platforms have different advantages. Fuck. I'm getting there. It was really good, and so we kind of bounced between the two because we were getting content for our own, we were getting snaps for our own content. So we're talking to zombies and things afterwards. It was actually really good. They got a dozen or so questions from the audience. There was actually people there, which I thought was really, really cool. So it was like a little bit of a Team OCE shout out, I guess, there as well, which was nice.
Good thing for us to get in there, considering we did a panel at TGX, but obviously being the nature of TGX, it was a little quieter. Not as many people showed up, but this one, there was a lot of interest. It was the panel stage was right in the expo hall, so we had support from the staff as well. I certainly got some good shots and definitely keen to share that. I think Jury even mentioned a conversation we had the night before about YouTube on that panel.
Yeah, so, that was good.
Yeah, I was like, all right, shit. Yeah, very good. So, there's some really good conversation on there. And yeah, it sounded like the guys did an excellent job in delivering a really, really good panel. So it was a bit of a win for Team OCE there.
Yeah, and you mentioned before about the kind of atmosphere and stuff as well, and it kind of touched on the point with TGX and the expo hall. So when we went into the expo hall with DreamHack, it was all dark, dimly lit.
Yep.
With like lights going everywhere.
Yeah.
And like it was esportsy and gamery, and it was just dim, and
it felt like it belonged.
It felt like it all made sense because all the coloured lights from the screens and the PCs and everything like that. It worked out really, really well, and it made the place feel bigger because you were trying to still explore because you couldn't see everything. It's not like super dark, like you can see everything, but like you have to kind of be like, oh, there's that thing over there, and then you would kind of wander over.
It felt alive. It felt and it felt well laid out too, because like the monster booth, for example, which was at the very back, was the tallest one there.
Yeah,
but because it was tall, it had that sense of depth to it. Like, I was like, oh, there's something over there. Sweet.
And it was something like TGX was missing. And PAX, it's okay because the place is so massive that it doesn't matter. Like,
well,
you get overwhelmed that you can see to the other end of the hallway, and you're like, holy shit, why?
I mean, even with PAX though, the expo hall is dimly lit, and there's all this colourful lighting around, stuff like that. Like the tabletop area is well lit because naturally it has to be.
That's true.
But the actual...
There's two separate sections.
The actual expo itself, that's pretty... It's not as well lit.
No, I think you're right. So I think that was something like TGX missed because it was all bright stadium lights in a concrete room. There's no carpet, there was no nothing. It was basically just like... And everything was spaced out enough. So it worked, but it was just... The problem was there that... We didn't realise that until we walked into DreamHack and went, oh... That's the thing that the difference is. If TGX was dimly lit and had these lights and that depth that Cami was talking about, I feel like it would have felt like a more professional and like a bigger expo.
Would have felt 10 times better. And I think with TGX, yes, you couldn't see anything. That's because you had these big black walls around it. You couldn't see anything not because not because there was scale, it's because it was a fucking maze.
Yeah, it was a bit of a maze, and then with no content.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we digress. So, what else did we do? So
that was the panel was there. That was excellent. And then after the panel,
we went and got drinks again,
which is what you do. I know.
Yeah,
we just drank the whole weekend.
Do you expect anything else? Honestly?
Oh God! And this is why we're dusty today.
Yeah,
it's because this
and CSGO. But yes.
Well, yeah, we're recording this the day after. Excuse me. Day after Saturday, so it's Sunday. We were recording this the night after we went out on our big night out.
Yeah.
And so we started off with the Team OCE meetup at Fonda Mexican, which was brilliant.
Which we hadn't done before. We usually we have like a big meetup out in the grass outside the venue, and then it's like cool. We raise our flag, and everyone's like, "Yay, picture!" And then everyone goes, "Okay, bye," and then everyone goes away. But this time we tried to do something different. We kind of did a big table at a food place, so we could actually have a reason to be there and eat food and chat and. And
it went really well.
I think it went really well too.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So me for organising it.
We talked. We watched CSGO again. We watched the start of the.
My phone's sitting there. Waiting for our drinks and stuff.
And then I found out that Jazz Likes Onion was also a motorsport fan. So I then found out that
two different streams going.
I found out that supercars were about to start racing in Perth. So I was like, all right, let's put that up there on this one. So we had two fucking phone screens going.
Yep.
While we're talking all this shit, ordering drinks, ordering food, having a great time. was a good vibe. We had a really good time. It was good to catch up with everyone there. We had a lot of new people, like a lot of new team because I've been in the team for a long, long time now. We had a lot of new team members this time, primarily from the Quick Save crew that's just recently integrated themselves into Team OCE. So we had a really good chance to meet them, build some new connections. All of them are lovely, lovely people.
Yeah. Super engaged with content creation too. They've got a fire to spark up content creation and content creation discussions, I think, which is definitely good for our team.
That's the thing. It's definitely done that. On that note, I'm going to get a beer. Another drink. We're drinking today, guys.
One of us. Well, yeah.
You've got soju there.
I do. I'm not mixing watermelon and orange juice, though.
And that's your fault.
Yeah. I made a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that totally picked the mic.
Oh, I did too. Shit. Oh, there we go.
Fix that in post.
Yeah, my bad.
Edit me just being like,
You'll be watching it back and then just in your ears.
Yeah, the big fucking spike.
Yeah, exactly.
So we went and did that. That was really fun. We did a bunch of other stuff, and then it was time for Sunday. I guess was the Well, we planned this as well. So we planned to get a lot of the expo itself and all the things in our footage and capture and all that stuff done Friday and the Saturday.
Yep.
We knew we were going to go out drinking and getting crunchy on Saturday. And the dedicated time, because it worked out really perfectly, was the Counter-Strike Global Offensive, the ESL Champions Melbourne thing, was all 2 semis and a grand final were on Sunday. So we're like, perfect. We'll wake up hungover, maybe try to eat something, and then just sit in a hall
and watch Counter-Strike
all day and just like kind of veg out.
And that's exactly what we fucking did. So
exactly what we did.
Yeah, I woke up as crunchy as a bag of potato chips.
I pulled up alright.
Yeah,
voice is fucked.
I was not doing well. I had a rough night. I passed out before you did though.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know this, which I don't know why you would, Kochie is a significant snorer.
It'd be weird if they did. Yeah.
It would be weird if they did.
Yeah.
Kochie's a snorer, as you can see. The beds are.
I was going to talk about the hotel and like the stuff after DreamHack.
Yeah.
But yes, we've just got 2 single beds next to each other, and then you can see the door to the shitter. But that we'll keep going.
Digress. Yeah.
I'm a drunk snorer. When I'm really tired, so like I've got fucking sinus problems somewhere. But yeah, so it was almost a race, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to force myself to stay up a little bit longer. He can get the sleep because I'm a nice person. Because if not, I go to sleep first,
like you did on Friday,
I shake windows. So
and I got no fucking sleep at all. I think I got 3 hours max. I was like, I want to suffocate this prick. I want to fucking put the pillow over his head and go, shh, shh, shh.
No snore no more.
Snore no more.
Kochie go night night.
Kochie go night night.
Forever.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, so that was, so I made it a mission to pass out as soon as I could on Saturday. I did, but then I think I snored instead.
Yeah. His one was bad. Like, that was just fun. I was like, oh yeah, snoring, cool. And I was like, after he said, oh yeah, I'm going to have problems with you snoring. Like, you fucking hypocrite. I was like, alright, cool. But, yeah, so we woke up, and then basically that took us to today, which was essentially just watching Counter-Strike the entire time, and I love Counter-Strike, and I've been playing it for, well, fuck a decade now at this point, on and off. And yeah, always like to follow the esports scene, so it was like, yep, cool. They're going to go watch some Counter-Strike and cheer on the Australian crowd, which hadn't really had a decent...
Oh, God.
It hadn't really had a decent esports event at this level since before COVID. So, IEM Sydney was the last one. And if anyone else has watched that competition, you knew how loud the crowd got when there was, especially when there's an Australian team available.
Yeah, exactly. So I've never been to a live competitive gaming event. I've never been to any sort of arena-esque thing. I've watched them on stream, but you don't get the same scope of the vibe in that room when you're watching it on the stream, because like they'll often do shots of like the crowd and the dumb shit that they're getting up to. It was a good time, and the very first thing I noticed is that, so obviously every single sport has its degenerates, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, especially with motorsport, you've got the revved up
revved up bogans
all sitting around a racetrack cheering on their mates, just
Drinking
absolutely
beer, yeah.
slaughtered on piss. Not the good kind either. Obviously there's going to be some degeneracy there. But the thing about a racetrack is that they're all spread out around 2.5 kilometers of circuit.
Yeah, you just move to another location if it's kind of getting a bit too rowdy.
You see, in a gaming environment, you jam anywhere between 100 to 500 gamers, the degenerates of the world.
There's probably a few thousand, I think.
In there today?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
I'll
I'll get numbers, but yeah.
I'll take your word on it. Jam a couple thousand people into a fucking stadium.
Yep.
The degenerates of the world, and then throwing the fact that they're Australian.
And there was an Australian team playing.
And there was an Australian team playing today. My God. Yeah. I've never witnessed such bullshit before in my life, and I was cackling the whole way through, having a great time, getting amazing footage of just amazing footage of, the reactions and what people were getting up to. Seriously, I've never been more happy in a vibe in my life. It was such a good vibe.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a unique crowd experience as well, and everyone always says that, like any CSGO team or any of the casters and stuff that come down as well for these events, they know that it's a unique experience. It's a smaller audience, to be sure. We're not feeling like the MCG filled with, 40,000 people, but they are really dedicated fans.
Yeah, and they make it known. And, they'll be memeing the whole time, putting up just the most disrespectful chants you can come up with.
With live case openings.
There's dudes with laptops in the fucking, in the con.
Yep, just holding
a laptop up with, and you see the whole crowd. Oh. And then, so, on top of all this, the Misfits showed up to DreamHack, and they decided to come watch the finals. So you had Swaggers, Unotorious, and Fitz all make an appearance. So one of the teams called... it was a half time, I think, or a timeout, one of the two. So what did Swagger do? He grabbed a fan's laptop, who they were like, yeah, take this, and he started doing fucking case openings, and they broadcast it to the stream on the big screen.
It's like a halftime show.
Yeah, it was like Swagger took over the halftime show and was just fucking doing case openings, and he was like, and he would hit the button, he would do the case, and like, and then he would do one more, and he just did that for like a solid 10 minutes. Yeah, the crowd was going off. Seriously, like, great vibe. Like, I'm high on it. I want to go again. Yeah, I want to go to more of this stuff.
It was really, really good. So they calmed down a little bit once the Australian team was Greyhound was unfortunately knocked out.
But in a great game though.
But it was a good game. Yeah. Unfortunately, choking in the semi-finals, never good.
No.
But yeah, the good thing about the crowd in for Australian CS as well is, regardless, like, yes, we're going to go for our home team, but once they're out, we're still going to sit there and watch the rest of the Counter-Strike, and we're still going to get hyped, and we're just going to make a new favourite.
Exactly, and I think...
enjoy the fact that Counter-Strike's being played at that level.
In front of us, yeah, exactly. And I think, especially in the grand final, the degeneracy also amped up to 11 again.
Yeah, like the ESL stuff were literally like, we want you to get rowdy every single round.
And boy, did we fucking get rowdy. Yeah. They were shit like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, just bullshit like that. And, and I think they started calling one of the commentators a wanker.
Yeah. There was a bunch of different stuff. So from what I can tell, people enjoyed themselves. People just screaming at each other, which again, part of
why we're so hoarse.
Adding to the hoarseness of just yelling and screaming and just enjoying the vibes that were there as well.
We had a great time.
Yeah,
I couldn't have think of a better way to spend my Sunday.
yeah. So we'll be recovering from that, obviously. All in all, I think it was a pretty good expo.
We had a great weekend. Yeah, I'm
surprisingly, like. Yeah, it was laid out. It never felt overwhelming. There was always something to do. There was always enough space. Like, it was just really, really well handled.
I think that's the right word to use. Genuinely, it was surprising. Surprising was the word I would use for that. Like, I knew I was going to have fun at DreamHack. It's a gaming convention. I always love this sort of stuff. But I didn't know I was going to have this much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I would actually rate this better than some of the PAXs I've been to, and that's a tall bar. I love PAX.
No, that's a really big, I guess, badge of honor, or like.
Yeah, I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, just everything from the team OCE perspective, catching up with mates, the way in which it was all laid out. Like, we haven't talked about the Rainbow Road that had music blasting on either side of it. It was the connector between the arena halls and the expo hall.
That was always my impromptu dance time.
Yeah.
I think if he puts it in his vlog,
it's going in my vlog. I don't think you need to question that at all.
No.
There was a dancing Snorlax at one point, which
dancing
was
to Kirby. I think it's Kirby.
Yeah, I think it was too. Like, there was just so much. Like, that's the thing. It was just dumb fun,
and there was enough space for that to happen.
Yeah, and there was a lot of different space for people to have fun, people to chill out. There was seating everywhere. Like, again, I rate this better than some of the PAXs I've been to.
Yeah.
Like I could go on, like Creator Lounge, like every element of the week. Like, excuse me about the hiccups all of a sudden. There's very few things that I could personally say sucked about this con. I thought genuinely the only issue I would have would be the lead up to and the communication when it comes to creators. We talked about that previously in a previous podcast, but having learned a bit more about the lead up to that, and there was a staffing change apparently, I'm a bit more understanding of that.
Yeah. That wouldn't affect, I guess, the plebeian here.
Absolutely not.
Enjoyment of the experience, because there is so much there to do, I guess.
If I was to give a review, I would say go to DreamHack.
Well, he's done his video work for me, so we don't have to do a second job.
Hey, let's go! Yeah, you should go to DreamHack, 100%.
Yeah.
I really couldn't recommend it enough.
It was definitely good, and it is always a good opportunity to get more esports into Australia. There were some panels. There was one panel there about getting out of esports, getting out of OCE in esports, which we didn't go to, but we, got information from other people, just, kind of clarifying what that is, because we do have like quite a small scene for a lot of these games, and even some of the top professionals here in Australia or in the OC region, New Zealand and whatnot, don't get the support here because their brands aren't here because of prize money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then they go over to America and EU, and they're maybe mid-tier pros at best.
Yeah.
But there's more. They're a small fish in a big pond, but here they can be a big fish in a small pond type deal.
So, exactly. Limits the growth. You hit that sort of skill seal, that ceiling of growth, which is not always the way you want to be.
No, we apply that to content creation and things like that in terms of like when people stream and when people open videos and
true.
And shit like that as well, and what your demographics are. We were talking about that type of stuff as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so it does apply to a lot of different things. But us just being able to have an event like this in Australia, and hopefully something that continues next year.
Yeah.
I guess it won't be every 6 months, thankfully.
No.
It'll be. I'm really excited to see like what will happen now that they've got a year to plan. Will they overplan it?
Yeah, that's
will they have too much red tape? Like, it was 6 months, and they were like, and they threw it all together, and it somehow just worked, and it was like, sweet.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that, given a year, they don't turn around and overplan it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, EA. That's two. That's two. This is podcast. I'm not salty.
No, not at all.
No,
you're a perfectly reasonable and rational human being.
Yes, I recommend on DreamHack.
Yeah,
we highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the people that talked to us. If we met you or shook your hand or you saw us from a corner of your eye and went, I know that dickhead. All that stuff. We appreciate that as well.
Yeah. You guys helped to make the weekend what it was. So,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, we're also here for other reasons as well, and most of those pertaining to alcohol and the different shenanigans that were here as well. I mean, the first one being the hotel situation that we've got here.
We sort of walked in and realized, it's going to be this kind of trip.
Yeah, immediately. As you can see,
I feel like I need to go back and like do a step by step,
like a room tour. If the cables, we'll take photos this time of the scuffed kind of setup.
Well, I feel like I should walk in the back and sort of direct the viewer's attention to certain doors.
We're gonna have to change the focus.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Don't worry.
So
take
a photo of the scuffed setup.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're sitting on my bed, and then this is Cami's bed. Yeah, like right here, right behind the
5 feet apart because we're not gay.
Yes. The title of the podcast: Two Straight White Guys on the Internet.
Yeah.
There's a TV on the wall that you can't see, and then there's no divider or door.
Yeah.
And there's a shitter.
That is the bathroom.
And then there's this way.
That's the shower.
There you go. Right, now I'm going the other way.
And on the door of the shower, it says "Get naked."
Lovely.
It's as Kochie said in the very start of my vlog. Would you like to repeat what you said?
Unless he's dick.
Yeah, there it is.
I've lied. I haven't seen it.
No, he hasn't seen it. So yeah, we had to come up with a system per se of managing the lacking amount of privacy. There is frosted glass at least on the doors.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
which does help a little bit.
Yeah.
But there has been I've heard a lot.
Yeah. As they put on TV, there's Chromecasts, so we just created ambient noise, so we didn't have to go through the nightmare shit rotations in serene silence with just audible farting.
Well, that's the thing. Serene silence definitely helped. But remember, my bed is right next door, so the the grog bog was definitely audible. For both of us, mind you, one of us, and then we had to spray it because otherwise it would have just lingered in the worst possible way. So that was a fun sort of way to try and get around things. But one of the strategies we tried to come up with was, okay, if someone's in the shower or in the shitter, you just turn your back and you look the opposite direction, and you sit on your phone or something like that. What you guys can't see on this wall right here, the opposite wall to the bathroom, is a full-length body mirror.
So even if you want to turn away, you basically have to stand in there's a corner over there that has nothing, and you just have to face that corner because you turn over and you just have a full reflective view of the person who's naked trying to avoid that. So I just ended up just the shower's not big either, so it was just this Tetris thing because we're not tiny people. As you can see,
built like shit brick houses,
pretty much. So we were just yep, we're just drying ourselves in the shower,
and then trying to put underwear on without getting them wet on the floor.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. So yeah, that's I guess a enlightening experience for our friendship.
We got to know each other. We haven't killed each other yet, so that's a plus.
We're 2 for 2. Yeah. Third time's a charm.
Maybe. That's PAX. We'll see how we go.
Maybe. So yeah, we did that. Been around Melbourne a bunch. We went to a place called Storyville. So that was a Harry Potter-y type mushroomy themed thing with themed drinks and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different cocktails. That was really, really cool. Nice dimly lit vibes. Really extravagant cocktails that were just nice and alcoholic, but also just had weird, weird takes on different drinks. There was an Aladdin's lamp. That was meant to be for 2 people, but zombies just got one. And it was just green liquid. It was actually shaped like a golden lamp, and you poured it out into little teacups and drank them.
I unfortunately missed all this. I had to get going to another arrangement and met up with you guys at Glitch, but and
then we had the Glitch party as well. So shout out to Bonnie and the team that runs Glitch out there as well. So just another gaming event for another a bunch of degenerates who want to go out and drink alcohol and climb stairs.
Lots of stairs.
Yeah. Not the best venue, but it was good for what we needed. And we did. Again, it was if you've seen the other previous pictures and the vlogs and things, we had rock bands and drinks and then food.
I did Thunderstruck, which is why my voice is so fucked.
Yeah, I think that definitely contributed to it.
Yeah.
They had food menus out in the rooftop bar.
I forgot about this, yep.
And then I walked up and was like, hey, I want food because I want pizza. And he's like, oh, we're not doing food at the moment. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries, that's fine. He's like, maybe later.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we have enough people to go up to the bar and ask to get food. And he was like, okay, we'll open up the...
Yeah.
We'll open up the thing. And it basically took our table of 10 people. 10 people to all just be like, I want a pizza and chips, I want pizza, I want this, I want this, I want this. And they're like, okay, kitchen's closed because we've got too many orders. There's only one dude out in the kitchen who's doing all this. And we're like, oh. The pizza though.
Yeah. Well, we'd already paid, so they were obligated. But basically, I remember because I saw the menus get put out on the counter. I thought that looks like a sign.
Yeah.
So I walked up and did a little scouting mission.
Yes.
Reported back to the table that food is available. I'm going to go order right now.
Yep.
And then we closed the kitchen.
Yeah, we opened and then closed the kitchen, which was great. So go team OCE and friends, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, we did that. That was good. And a good night out. We got scammed at a club, which was great. We got scammed by the casino. So me and one of the other guys was going out. We're like, yeah, we feel like clubbing. We feel like going out, but we'd already crossed the river to come back to our hotel.
Yep.
We're like, we're not going all the way back over, so we'll just go to Crown. Go upstairs into Crown after debating for 20 minutes or so.
Yep.
And we're like, okay, there's typical people trying to get you into the club and whatnot. We're like, yeah, no worries. We pay a $25 cover charge. We walk in and there's 20 people there. And they're like, fuck. Yeah, I still got, okay, see, I still got the stamp from it because it won't fucking come off. But yeah, we walked in and was like, oh, we got baited, didn't we? And it was like, yep, we should have just gone with our gut and not like just been swindled by person who was trying to get us into the club. So we literally did a 180 within 30 seconds and went, nah, and then left.
Went to the food court, ordered a shit ton of KFC, came back to this very room.
Yep.
And then vegged out for a solid, like, half an hour to an hour with the rest of the people. And then 3 a.m. came around and was like, yeah, but it's probably time for bed.
Yeah. We were all, a lot of us were all staying in the same hotel. Not in the same room, obviously, because we all have our own little shit rotations going on. But various different rooms in the hotel here. So that was really good for just coordinating everything, which was, I think, so much easier. But then we were just picking random people's rooms to go and just jump into to just hang out and just sit on the floor and deal with whatever. So just added to our little impromptu meetings and things where people weren't everywhere. We kind of coordinated a little bit.
It was good,
it worked out well.
Made things a bit easier for the logistics of everything, which, helps out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, Melbourne's always easy to get around as well. Like, we didn't actually use any trams, but we did Ubers from, like, one side of the city to the other side, and that was always fairly easy.
Didn't cost us too much,
Didn't cost us too much and things like that. But, and then, we'll have to see how the next, I guess, day goes, and then if we actually recover or if we get sick. It's been a while since I've caught, like, post-con flu. We'll have to see how that goes.
I mean, given how closely sat we were with the rest of the people in the CSGO tournaments, literally screaming our hearts out.
Yeah, no mask, no nothing.
There is a good chance we've got something, so yeet. We love to see it, but generally speaking, it was a solid weekend. I'm still hazy as hell. I don't think I've been sober the whole time.
No.
I think I've been drunk, or not drunk, but, impaired the whole time.
Inebriated enough,
I've definitely not been at a .000 limit.
No. And that does help, the Australian way and all that type stuff, but, definitely not required.
This is definitely built from copious amounts of drinking, but,
Yes.
Built for comfort, not for speed.
So, yeah, DreamHack. It was a good vibe. We had a good weekend.
Amazing weekend.
Not much else to really kind of talk about on the podcast, but we will be doing our own content as well for the expo.
Yeah.
I'll be doing my review video, so I'll be doing clips and stuff. I'm learning to take more clips now. I kind of had that hesitation where I'm like, oh, I don't really need that. I've got enough. And then I go into editing and I realize I got half as many as I probably need, and I needed and then half of those were shitly taken because I was moving around or someone bumped me or the lighting was shit or I messed with my levels or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Gives you more redundancy to pick from clips and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. So I'm learning all that stuff, so we'll have a review, I guess, of DreamHack, even though you already know what it is, but more, I guess, professional.
Well, that's
scripted content.
I think you got the visuals in there as well and stuff like that, and consolidate it.
See what's going on.
Highlights,
I'm doing that, and then trying to get back into the content, just grind. So balancing between this and then we've done an Independence podcast, and then review videos and like that. So yeah, that's all I've pretty much got to do.
Yeah, and I've got my vlog coming out. We're gonna try a little bit of a different system. So last time with TGX we did all 2 days into one vlog. This guy over here convinced me to do one video for DreamHack. I was originally going to do 3, but he's right. It's not big enough. It's not quite big enough for 3 videos.
It's not PAX levels.
No, which at PAX I've got the justification to do it. I'm that busy. You've seen me once again. I'm running around like a headless chicken with a notepad in front of me with a check mark as to what I'm missing and what I'm not. But yeah, so this time it'll be one video, all 3 days in one. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but
just the best bits.
You know me, I can't pick them. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's on the goals. So yeah, that'll be what I basically come out with for the DreamHack. Hopefully I got everything I needed, but too late now if I don't. See how we go. And then beyond that, just got a few things in the works. Big one probably being a move on streaming, which we discussed at length during past podcast and this weekend. But if you're a follower of my channel who's here, firstly, hello, good to see you. Secondly,
subscribe
down below so you can keep up to date with Kochie stuff as well. But we're yeah, a move is coming to the streaming site. You'll see an announcement on the channel shortly. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
You're doing some tests and doing that type of stuff. So you've seen some, and I think what a jury mentioned, which came from our conversation as well, is that previously within a move to Twitch is that, and then we're talking about Kick and stuff like that, which we've already obviously talked about tons on this thing. But one thing we didn't mention previously, and a nugget of information that kind of came out of these discussions, was the fact that 95.5 is really, really good for the streamer, but it's not good for the viewer.
No,
it makes no fucking difference.
No, there's
and Twitch is the comfy place to be because you've got BTTV and 7TV and all the APIs, like things like
just the culture and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
It's comfy, and the 50/50 sucks. But it's the thing that generates views. It's and gives a reason to be there. And
that's the thing. 50/50 of something is better than 70/30 of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So you've seen some good success on your test streams and things like that as well. So we'll see how that goes in the future as well.
So that's something I'll be working on in the coming days or in the coming week. I'm planning on getting that announcement out pretty soon. But we've also just announced BattleBit Clips of the Week. So we're going to be doing a new series on the channel highlighting community clips. So if you're a BattleBit player and you've got a really exciting clip, whether it be funny, whether it be skillful, one of those really awesome random shots you get, send it through to me. There's a announcement video on my YouTube channel that you can go check out. It gives you all the details, but
link in the doobly-doo.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, that'll be a big initiative we've got going in the coming weeks, and hoping that will help to contribute to the overall BattleBit community.
Yeah, because get waiting for early access and things like that as well, as we're both keenly aware that we want to get onto that as soon as possible. Which,
if a recent tweet is anything to go by, we are now single digits in play tests to go.
Wait,
if you look into it with any degree of what I'm looking for here,
just insight or critical thinking ability,
something like that. So
yeah,
we're very close to a BattleBit release. So I know
early access release.
Yeah. And I'm going to try and convince Kochie to get back on the streaming game for that too, so he can take advantage of the Twitch drop situation.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. With the whole thing with playtest at the moment, it's like we play from 11:30 at night on a Saturday until like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning on the Sunday. And it's great every single time, don't get me wrong, but then it just fucks with your sleep schedule entirely when you try to...
You feel it.
You really do. So we want to be keen on early access, and hopefully as well... that'll get more clips to Cami for his new series, being that he's looking into.
Yep.
Make sure you check that in the doobly-doo. Thanks very much for watching and listening. I guess if you're on Spotify as well, we're now on Spotify, so go and follow us over there. Again, doobly-doo.
Hopefully the audio is good on this one.
Yeah, we're it's carpet, not concrete, and there's sound buffering. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it here. It's like touch the walls.
There's actually some noise proofing in this place. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
it's for a different reason.
It's definitely a different reason. Much like the reason why the bathroom is like the way that it is. But yeah, so subscribe to the podcast. Let us know if you did go to DreamHack, if you did see us, or if we talked or whatever. Let us know. Hello.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you as well. And then looking forward to more content on the channel. So subscribe to Cami.
Thank you.
Doobly-doo. And we will see you guys when we're back. Being flesh tubers.
Not being flesh tubers and less dusty when we're
in the flesh tubers. We're still going to be flesh tubers. It's still going to be our faces.
Yeah. And we'll just be less crunchy, less dusty.
Yeah.
Less.
Still is just as stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My last 2 brain cells are still fine for 3rd place, guys.
Yes, definitely.
But I can say, okay, Google faster than your smarts can do it, so,
That's a perfect way to end. We're just right, apparently. Take it easy. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thanks, legends.
Peace. At our crotches. Yes. Yeah, or your tummy's gonna be like,
it's gonna be like really straight content right there.
That's the intro.
Fuck.